The CSU Faculty Strike is approaching. What does it mean for students on our campus? Women's History Month kicks off with a viewing of the film Real Women Have Curves.
And Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump take over Super Tuesday. We have all this and more on tonight's show. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on this edition of OC News. I'm Alana Garrett.
And I'm Davria Simpson. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students in the Department of Communications at Cal State Fullerton.
We are just weeks away from what may be one of the largest union strikes in CSU history. California State University faculty have voted to strike on all 23 campuses for 5 days in April. The reason? The faculty are fighting for more money. Strike preparations are well underway, and faculty has come together today on Cal State Fullerton campus to make picket signs. Our own Jonathan Trabucco has the story.
With the CSU faculty strike quickly approaching, I spoke to Associate Professor of Cinema and TV Arts Gloria Monti about the impending strike.
I think the strike is necessary because the faculty hasn't had a raise in 10 years. So that's why I think it is necessary. Our salaries have been stagnant, and when we had the furlough in 2009, we actually lost 10% that we never recouped. So I think it's time. The strike is legal. We have been granted the right to strike, so there is really nothing that the administration can do to us. You mean something along the lines of intimidation all the way to being fired? No, I'm not afraid because I'm not doing anything illegal.
The Fight for Five strike is scheduled to begin April 13th through 15th and the 18th and 19th. I'm Jonathan Trabucco for OC News.
Cal State Fullerton's Women and Adult Reentry Center kicked off Women's History Month with the film Real Women Have Curves. Dr. Elizabeth Suarez spoke at the event and talked about issues Latina women face growing up. Here's Alana Garrett with more.
March is Women's History Month, and Cal State Fullerton's Women's and Adult Reentry Center is celebrating with events held all month that explore women's roles in society. The center hosted a showing of the film Real Women Have Curves, where Dr. Elizabeth Suarez spoke about the struggles of Latina women growing up.
I think it would be good for the students to have a discussion on what is it that we buy into when we see films, whether they're, major films or just, small documentary or informational type of films. They all sell a certain message, and that message is what should women be like or to be accepted. So I think that's a good discussion, especially for students here at Cal State Fullerton, especially in Orange County. There's a certain, feel and air and ideological notions about what women should be, especially in Orange County. So I think it's a good thing to have the students, really think about them and discuss them as a group to get different perspectives.
The center's coordinator spoke about more events that will be held during Women's History Month.
No, it's Women's History Month, and the Women and Adult Reentry Center is working with different offices on campus to host different events to celebrate the challenges that women face, as well as enlighten people about the issues that are going on around the world and on campus. One of the things that we're really looking forward to is our International Women's Day, which is March 8th, which is really looking at the idea of the Pledge for Parity, which is about equality.
The last event, the 8th Annual Women's Conference, will be held March 26th at Cal State Fullerton. I'm Alana Garrett for OC News. The Republican Party scrambles to get itself together and see who came out ahead during the past Super Tuesday. Here's Miguel with your latest political highlights.
Hey everyone, as many of you guys know, yesterday was Super Tuesday, where 11 states held elections for the slate of candidates from both the Republican and Democratic side. Yes, there have been elections already, and there will be more many soon. So what makes this day so important? Well, historically, the candidate who leads after Super Tuesday goes on to become their party's presidential candidate. By that logic, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton would be going against each other come fall. But not so fast. As we've seen some candidates not fit the general mold of politicians, this election has not fit the mold of a normal election. So there's still some ball to play. Let's start with the winners and losers of the Republican side. Clear winner is Donald Trump, who won 7 states, leaving Ted Cruz with 3 states and Marco Rubio with 1. Big winner on the Democrat side is Hillary Clinton, who won 7 states, leaving Bernie Sanders with 4. Big question from yesterday is why Governor Chris Christie joined Trump on stage during his post-victory speech. Besides announcing Trump as the self-titled next president of the United States, there wasn't much need for him to be there. It was like watching Steph Curry bring his daughter Riley to a post-game conference. A little bring your kid to work kind of thing. But instead of being adorable, he was seen most of the time with his mouth ajar and an uncertain look on his face, which drew some media backlash. So why was he there? He just recently endorsed Trump in this election, and it is possible that he is the frontrunner for his vice president spot. Now, he's not the only person who's come out to support Trump. Former governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin, came out to support Trump and possibly lock in a spot on his cabinet as well. This possible cabinet looks like the forming of the Legion of Doom. So who could put an end to this Republican chaos? Well, Ted Cruz alluded to other candidates, hint hint, Marco Rubio, dropping out of the race to be his VP to form another super team to stop Trump and his island of misfit Republicans. However, Rubio said he was going to stay in the race, but maybe his disheartening results will finally set in and he'll give in to Cruz's plan for the good of the Republican Party. Only time will tell. Now, on paper, the losers from yesterday was Rubio and Sanders. But if you look at the big picture, the real loser was the Republican Party, who as a whole seemed to be in utter chaos. Republicans such as House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell denounced the KKK recently after they publicly supported Donald Trump. While Trump failed to do so in a recent interview, now, while they didn't outright say they were going to support Trump if he wins the nomination, they came pretty close to it. Now, when it comes to Trump and his policies, both Cruz and Rubio stated there's a recording of Trump talking to the New York Times editorial staff stating he does not mean what he says about immigration and there is no plan to build that magnificent wall he has in his head, which for some reason gets to be 10 feet taller every time he talks about it. If there were a current picture for definition for chaos, the Republican Party and the elections as a whole would be front and center. So let's all take a step back from all the pageantry and let's forget about the names involved in this wacky race and let's take a look at all the issues at hand to make a decision. And if you want to take this literal approach, you can go ahead and join John Oliver, host of Last Week Tonight, and his hashtag Make Donald Trump Again campaign. The reasoning behind Trump is because that's what Trump's last name was before his family changed it. This campaign also comes in the form of a Google Chrome extension that replaces the word Trump to Drump in your web browser. So whether it's Trump, Cruz, Hillary, or Sanders, before you cast that vote, really think about which candidate will send America in the right direction. Back to you guys.
While Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump take the lead, winning the most state votes, Cal State Fullerton students and staff share what they think about each candidate's win.
I think that it's absolute madness.
I don't think it's a good idea because the social media aspect is kind of making him seem like he's Hitler, which is kind of like something we don't need right now.
I don't know what we're supposed to be doing with this. This is really bad. Like Donald Trump could probably, on the upside though, it's gonna be Yeezy versus Donald Trump in 2020.
I don't know. I hope Donald Trump wins. So all the way.
The joke everyone was joking about oh no way, this is a joke. They kept joking until it wasn't a joke anymore, and now we're kind of in too deep. I feel like all that bad exposure was still exposure, and it was only fuel for the fire in a sense as far as him winning.
Either way, people will probably most likely vote for Hillary because of how Donald Trump is portraying a negative aspect on the U.S.
I'm moving if Trump is our next president, but Hillary, it's almost just as bad in a bunch of different ways.
No, I think right now, because with where the country's at, we need a businessman. Because what a lot of people don't understand is our country is more of a business than it is actually a country itself. And I think he will get us out of debt. He'll do all of that. And as far as foreign policy and all that goes, you just need to hire the right people to do it, and he knows how to do that.
It's been a big weekend for Hillary. She had some big wins on, South Carolina on Saturday. And now now her just sweeping on Super Tuesday. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a foreshadow of what could happen this upcoming November.
I actually think they are. I mean, obviously I would go with Hillary over Trump, but ideally Bernie. But it does seem like Hillary is definitely going to be the one.
Coming up, find out how we may be able to vote for the President of the United States using Google+.
And get ready for some rainy weather. We have your weekly weather forecast after the break.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
It's Apple versus the FBI in a showdown over privacy. Augmented reality is hitting the mass market, and voting for president on your phone is here. Here's Oscar with the latest technology.
Thank you, Alana. The Apple versus FBI case has become ongoing national debate as FBI Director James Comey and Apple's top attorney Bruce Well are testifying today at a congressional hearing on equipped smartphone and other electronic devices. Apple versus FBI. The discussion began at the case involving the San Bernardino killer Syed Farook. Apple refused to open a backdoor to the FBI based on the privacy concern that creating a backdoor would make the devices vulnerable to hackers and cyber criminals. However, Comey said that the FBI have all the reasons to access to the killer's device to find clues.
In any investigation is done competently, the FBI would try to get access to that phone. It's important that it's a live, ongoing terrorism investigation, but in any criminal investigation, a competent investigator would try and use all lawful tools to get access to that device. And that's what you see happening in San Bernardino. The San Bernardino case is about that case. It obviously highlights the broader issue, and of course it'll be looked upon by other judges and other litigants, but it is about the case and trying to do a competent job of understanding, is there somebody else? And are there clues to what else might have gone on here? That is our job.
If you still remember the movie Minority Report, you might still remember about all those cool stuff that Tom Cruise done with his black gloves on a flat screen. Augmented reality devices Meta 2 is available for pre-order starting today. Marion Gabbs, CEO of the Meta company, said that within a year or two, he wants everyone to be doing their works using his product, and the changing is happening. Compared with the visual reality device, one of the biggest difference of the augmented reality is that it layers the interactive visual world on the top of what is around us. But still, analysis argues that it should be something people wear by choice. In an age where people buy clothes, pay bills, and talk to friends online, it only seems natural that voting will have bigger presence on the web. With a newly acquired patent, Google could be making this a reality very soon. The patent combines user interface with search results to allow users to directly vote from search pages that provide relevant information on what they are voting for. Essentially, people will be able to gather information on a subject and cast a vote, all from the comfort of their phone or computer. This technology hopes to improve American voter turnout, as we are currently ranked 31st out of 34 countries, according to the Pew Research Center. In order to increase voter turnout, it should be imperative that our local, state, and federal government embrace Google's new technology for election in the future.
Let's keep this tech train rolling with Matthew Bruce and his story about virtual reality worlds being built at USC.
Virtual reality is currently on the cusp of re-entering the public eye. Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, Sony VR, and more are soon, if not already, coming to mass market in 2016. And while the main focus of this technology is largely gaming-oriented, there are people already pushing the limits of what VR is capable of. To further explore this, I traveled to the Institute for Creative Technologies over at USC and sat down with Skip Rizzo. One of the main projects Rizzo is working on is an Afghanistan simulator called BraveMind. It is designed to accurately recreate events that cause PTSD with returning soldiers. It is giving people the opportunity to confront their fears in a safe environment, but also training new recruits who have yet to experience war. What is your main goal with BraveMind and treating PTSD with VR?
What I'm hoping to achieve with the use of VR to treat PTSD and to do it in this format where we help people confront and process difficult emotional memories is to go beyond combat PTSD and start to address the types of PTSD that affect civilians. So we're doing a project looking at military sexual trauma in a VR simulation. If those results come out well, we have a lot of civilian content that's in there that could be used for the civilian population. One area that we focused on here is taking everything we've used for treatment and using it as a tool for people before they go on a deployment, where they can be embedded in a virtual narrative. Instead of watching Band of Brothers on TV, you're in the Band of Brothers episode. And it's sort of like an emotional obstacle course to prepare people for what they may face emotionally in combat. But we don't just stop there. At that moment, we have an intelligent virtual human walk into the scene and guide a person through coping strategies. How would you deal with this? Here are some strategies that have been found to be effective. And so you're looking at perhaps a generation of young service members who really may not, before their deployment, have had to deal with extreme events. They might not have developed these coping skills. So maybe we can enhance how they think about their experience in a way that is more healthy and not an experience that leads to PTSD.
Virtual reality is becoming a man's new frontier, and especially after talking with Skip about its future, there's no reason why we shouldn't fully endorse it. It's one of those things that's hard to understand until you actually put the headset on yourself. But once you're in there, you'll find that you see nothing but opportunity.
Weather changes are in our future. Summer isn't quite around the corner like we thought. Don't store away those sweaters. Ashley Pellegrini has the details. Ashley?
Weather changes are in our future. Summer isn't quite around the corner like we thought. We'll have further details. Get your umbrellas ready. Wet weather is coming our way. We're in lovely Laguna Beach. It's a gorgeous day with current temperatures at 61 degrees along the coast. We're seeing a lot cooler temperatures reaching a high of 67 degrees by Friday and dropping down into the low 60s as of Sunday. High surf advisory is expected as of Friday. Current temperatures here in Fullerton, we have 73 degrees with a low of 52 degrees, winds at 8 miles per hour with a humidity of 45%. Tomorrow, sunrise is 6:18 a.m., sunset at 5:49. As of Thursday, 90% chance of rain. Enjoy the last bit of warm weather. Temperatures will drop into the 60s with a low of 50 degrees as of Sunday, with steady light rain through the morning showers continuing throughout the afternoon, with expected 15 to 25 miles per hour winds. In our 5-day forecast, weather as we head into the weekend, Thursday, as of Thursday, we'll have a high of 73 and a low of 52. Friday's high of 73 and a low of 55. Headed into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, temperatures are expected in the mid-60s with a 90% rain and showers as of Sunday as we go on into Monday. Temperatures are expected to rise back into the 70s as of early next Tuesday, with a 40% chance of rain next Thursday. Mountains are expected to dip into the 30s as this weekend due to lack of rain and warmer temperatures this past February. Our local mountain high ski resort has temporarily closed due to lack of snow. However, snow seekers are highly encouraged to hang on tight to their passes. Snow is expected to fall again by the following week. As for national weather, current temps in the mid ranging from 30s through Minneapolis, Chicago temperatures ranging from the mid 70s to 80s are expected through New Mexico, Dallas, and Miami, Orlando, Florida. Snow between 1 to 2 inches is expected throughout the east in Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Pennsylvania, less than 1 inch of rain is expected throughout the lower eastern states, including Missouri, Kentucky, and Mississippi. That's all for weather. Stay tuned this weekend, and back to you.
It's a busy week for Titan sports with multiple teams in action. A former Super Bowl winning quarterback breaks the bank.
And Christina Aguilar kisses a contestant. Coming up next.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash, 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Titan athletics are in full swing, and with the NBA and NHL seasons just past their midway point, our Joe Moreno has the scoop on sports.
Thank you. We start off on campus where the Cal State Fullerton men's basketball team takes on Big West Conference rival Long Beach State tonight at 7 p.m. Titan Gym will be jumping as the Titans host the Dirtbags to close out their regular season schedule. Fullerton will be looking to go into the Big West tournament with some momentum after heading into tonight's regular season finale with a subpar record of 10-18, including losses in 6 of their last 7 games. The Titans currently sit in 9th place in the conference standings, but will be eligible for the Big West tournament starting March 10th due to a self-imposed postseason ban by Cal State Northridge. The game will be broadcast tonight on ESPN3, and the Titan women's basketball team will also look to close out their season on a high note after compiling a 3-25 record for the year. The Titans head into their final week of the season with 2 Big West matchups, hosting Cal State Northridge on Thursday night before heading to UC Riverside to take on the Anteaters for their final game of the season. The Titan baseball team heads for Arizona for a midweek matchup with the Arizona Wildcats. After sweeping the Indiana Hoosiers over the weekend, Fullerton moved to 4-3 for the season and will be tested with their next 5 games away from home. Following their 4-game road trip, the Titans will return home for 16 of their next 18 games and hope to maintain their status as one of the top 25 teams in the country. Transitioning from the collegiate to the pro ranks, where the Los Angeles Lakers were in action last night at home versus the Brooklyn Nets. With Kobe Bryant sitting out a second consecutive game with a sore right shoulder, the team would have to rely on their young talent to help get themselves out of an 8-game slide. The Lakers entered the contest with the second worst record in the league at just 11-49 and dead last in the Western Conference. But with coach Byron Scott finally taking the leash off second overall pick in last year's draft, rookie D'Angelo Russell, he responded in a big way. D-Lo exploded for a career-high 39 points, including 8 three-pointers to lead the Lakers to a 107-101 victory. His 39 points were the most by any rookie this season and the most by a Lakers rookie in a regular season game since Elgin Baylor dropped 59 points way back on March 11, 1959. The Lakers' next game is at Denver tonight, where they'll look to build on last night's win and appease fans who are not aboard the team tank mentality. And the Anaheim Ducks are looking to extend their 8-game win streak tonight against the Montreal Canadiens. Coming off a 4-2 win against the crosstown rival LA Kings, the Ducks are quickly gaining ground in the Pacific standings and now trail the Kings by only 2 points. The puck drops tonight at the Honda Center at 10 p.m. And now to the NFL, where Baltimore Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco has agreed to terms on a new 3-year contract extension that will make him one of the highest paid players in NFL history. Flacco's new deal will net him an NFL record $40 million signing bonus, with $44 million guaranteed over the course of the next 6 seasons. After winning the Super Bowl 4 years ago, Flacco is currently rehabbing from November knee surgery to repair a torn ACL and MCL.
News and entertainment this week covers new movies, literature, the TV show The Voice, where Christina Aguilera kisses a contestant, and the Playboy Mansion is on sale. Where will all of those bunnies go? Here's Isla with the latest in entertainment.
High School Musical is back, but not with the same old faces that audiences have grown to love. Instead, a whole new group of Wildcats will be introduced along with their rivalry, the West High Knights. While there has been speculation as to the return of Efron, Hudgens, and Tisdale as mentors and coaches, it seems the hopes of superfans may be too high. The cast isn't the only thing that's changing about High School Musical 4. Familiar face Peter Barsocchini, who wrote all 3 High School Musical movies, will return to help co-write the screenplay, but some new faces will appear in production, including a new co-writer, director, and choreographer. In last night's steamy premiere of The Voice, Christina Aguilera shared some lip action with one of the new contestants. The contestant revealed a childhood crush on Christina that caused things to quickly heat up. Christina stated, "Should we just make out so we could get to work?" which shocked her fellow judges. The two shared an innocent peck on the lips, but it was enough to get Pharrell out of his seat. By no surprise, after the kiss, the contestant joined Team Christina. J.K. Rowling revealed in a tweet on Monday that the upcoming film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them will be the first installment in a trilogy, meaning that there are 2 new Harry Potter movies on the way. As one of the most successful movie franchises with a whopping $21 billion net worth, the breaking news is sure to have excited both muggles and wizards alike. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them will be released on November 18th, stars Eddie Redmayne and Newt Scamander. With the Playboy Mansion up for sale, many of the ex-bunnies are walking down memory lane. Pamela Anderson referred to her mansion as her university, claiming it was a place full of intellectuals, sex, rock and roll, arts, all of the important stuff. CEO Scott Flanders said the sale is a strategic decision that will allow Playboy to continue to reinvent itself. Playboy has gone through other dramatic changes besides the selling of the mansion, including the removal of nude photos from the magazine. The Television Academy announced Wednesday new changes coming to the 2016 Emmy ceremony. 5 new categories honoring short-form videos have been added. Series acceptable for nomination must be a minimum of 6 episodes with a running average of 15 minutes or less per episode. They also must be exhibited over the wire via cable, satellite, or the internet. These changes are a representation of the acceptance of YouTube as a serious, impactful, and creative platform. The Erin Andrews nude peephole case against the Marriott is causing quite a commotion. TMZ broke news today that a Marriott executive in Nashville and his friends were caught mocking the embarrassing video at dinner. A server saw the group laughing and saying that Andrews didn't deserve the money. She then moved to Twitter, where the executive, Neil Peskine, claims he had nothing to do with it. However, he does admit that his friends brought out the video up on their phone. This new release of information could have an effect on the minds of jury as the case continues.
Join us on social media to tell us about the important stories you see and other items you'd like to see covered on OC News. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all under the OC News CSUF handle.
That's going to do it for us here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you back here on Monday at 5 p.m. for another edition of OC News. Good night.